All right, the levels element is looking at the levels in a slightly different way. So let's look at each table and we'll do our analysis. So the first thing we see here is that the levels in each model do not share the same name. And we see how many types of levels there are, and we see whether they're project base point or they're survey point. So here we have 20 survey point levels, and they're called level HOK shared. Here in MEP, they're called level HOK project, and here they're called level HOK shared. And then we see another discrepancy, which is in the structure. Well, first off, they have completely different names, and there's two levels used, right? So maybe if your BIM execution plan says all your levels should be the same, here's a template for your levels. Make sure to only use project base point or survey point level. You're going to be able to verify that concordance or that chaos right away. Now, we see the data in a very similar way here. And what we can see, for example, is that the level dash shared is actually used in these two models, whereas these are separate lines. So once again, if everybody's supposed to use the same name and the same family, you're going to see that concordance right away. You're going to see once again that there's only one level used here. There's a bit of an outlier. One level used, elevation plus description in the structural model. Now up here, we're going to get some information about each model in a different way. So we are looking at each model here. That's the name of the level. And then we can see the extents, right? And also if it's part of a scope box. So if your BIM execution plan says it should be part of a scope box, you're going to see that here, whether it's successful or not. So the only model using a scope box right now is the structural building. This is only going to be for the parent model if you show the levels in 3D. So if you show the levels in 3D, you're going to get the not just the elevation, but also the extent. Sometimes people are a bit careless and they'll have a level that is like 2-3 kilometers completely extremely large in 3D extents for no reason. And that's really annoying because when you open the 3D view, you know, you got to hide the levels and you got to put a scope box. And so it's just sloppy modeling. And you can detect those kind of errors in here, as well as perhaps there's a tiny little level, or perhaps some levels are just not the same X and Y extents. So this is only going to show it for the parent file, meaning the one that is holding all of the links. In this case, the file was exported from the tower architecture model. So that's it for the levels element report. We're going to move on to the next one. Cheers.